Okay, ladies and gentlemen, late night video here. Like, share, subscribe. Cash App $ Winston Spivey. Let me know what you think about this video here. So, I don't know what this is or whatever. All right, this is a last second attempt to try to doggone bury Diddy, or I don't know if it's like a cry for help or whatever, or since it sounds like some type of like alarm or something to the FBI and Judge Subranian. Okay, now, if you guys don't know, that Judge Subranian, if I said that right, is going to be the deciding factor of how much time P. Diddy gets. Okay, I know you know who P. Diddy is. You know what he's done throughout his career. You know what the stuff that he's done, I guess, wasn't right or wrong. And you know that he's got convicted for a couple of things. And you know what he's facing. Up to 20 years. 10 years per count. Anyway, Cassie, and I want to talk about this cook too, okay? Jordyn Atkinson. And both wrote them letters. Actually, is one of Cassie's hairdressers too, Nash, I believe. But these people wrote letters to the judges. Okay, I want to talk about Cassie because she is the most, popular figure and that kind of thing. All right, you can call her the star witness. You guys seen that infamous tape? Now, let me say a little bit about Jordyn Atkinson, okay? Because she wrote a very similar letter. Basically, she was a worker. She was his cook for what, 10 years, 11 years? And she wasn't not involved in any freak-offs, from what I understand, okay? From looking at those, any notes and things of that nature, okay, that she cooked and she did her job. And I heard that she did her job fairly well. And Diddy was doggone treating her bad. Again, she didn't participate in any of that stuff, that freaky stuff. Okay? And I do know the day of her firing that she walked out and Diddy ran behind her and pushed her out of the door and pushed her like on her back or something to that effect. I remember making a video about that, what, a couple of months ago, 3 months ago. Ended up getting what, about 1,500 views. You can check that video out. Okay? Basically saying the same things that Cassie was saying, but just in a different light, again, because, she was not involved with Diddy in an intimate way. And she's like this, it just caused me a lot of mental anguish, sometimes physical, psychological, definitely anguish. And wrote the judge to be like, look, you know what? Don't let this creep out, okay? Where I guess she had worked hard to provide for her family and for herself, and things of that nature. And because I guess, she just talked about, Diddy's anger, his controlling, freaking nature, and so on and so on. All right. So, I guess she's just terrified of her life. And I think she wrote that letter in the event if he got out, she would be terrified of her life. She probably would feel as though Diddy would try to get at her and so forth. Okay. So, let me see here. If my memory serves me right, she did not testify in court, okay? If my memory served me right, she did not testify in court, or I don't think that she wanted any money or anything, okay? But I just think that she did it, wrote the letter and said her testimony for awareness. Maybe she could vet, that kind of thing, okay? Because everybody didn't really want money, but they wanted to have their point known and so forth, okay? Heard and known. So that's the thing about social media and having the chance to write the judge, letters and things of that nature. Now, if my memory serves me right, she was supposed to testify in court and she didn't. But for the most part, the social media things gets a chance for everybody to tell their story. So I hope that she's doing fine and all that. So Cassie, okay, as you know, that Cassie was a singer. She did okay, did some modeling and that kind of stuff. Actually, Cassie had a boyfriend when her and Diddy met up. I believe she was going with the singer Ryan Leslie, and a very smart, very bright individual. All right, I remember I listened to a couple of songs he came out with. Okay, but Diddy, he scooped her up from Ryan Leslie, So, but she didn't start out, with that kind of life, that freakish type of life that Diddy lived and things like that. Although that there's allegations or whatever that she turned Diddy out, okay, but I'm more so leaning on to, Diddy couldn't perform, and he tried to probably sugarcoat it by taking care of her lifestyle. I mean, he was doing that anyway, getting other people to take care of her, okay? And those things had affected her psychologically. Now let me break in by saying this. Cassie was no angel. I've talked about this on this channel. She mentioned in court and said, look, what, I've probably done some things that I'm not proud of, where she wanted, for example, that security guard that had that tape, right? If she didn't give it to him, then she had threatened, to off this man. And also the thing where she tried to line Diddy and Kid Cudi up, that kind of thing, okay? And she was angry, okay? But she did those things under extreme duress. She had confessed that stuff in court, and I believe that they had gave her immunity and gave her grace based off that, and then, her willingness to cooperate, okay? So, that kind of thing. But, she was basically telling the Judge Subranian, is like, look, you know what? I put up with him for 11 years, the beatings, and you were able to see that on that video that happened at the International Hotel. You saw that in the pictures and things of that nature, okay? When she was, I believe, in Hawaii, when she had cuts and bruises all on her face and things of that nature, she had those sunglasses on. You can find that information online. Witnesses, people that the witness, Diddy putting his hands on her and that kind of thing. And she was very loyal to Diddy, okay? Although, yes, she did do those freakish things and things, but she did that for him, okay? I just think that there was love there, but I believe that both of them had a very strange way to show it, okay? I don't know. If I was Diddy, I would think that my best girl, including when he was married to Kim, that kind of thing, why would you want to give up your best girl? But like I say, though, it's one of the things that Diddy was not performing, and, he was not laying down pipe. And he wasn't doing the things with the money that he had to try to fix, it. Because if I had the money that he had, then I would be definitely trying to fix it, be trying to fix my health, maybe to try to get some ED treatment, whatever that he had to do, the PRP shot, implants, whatever that would have given me the advantage, okay? I don't know. I'm not saying like the right thing to do, but the concubines are a different story. But I ain't giving up my main woman. So that's that. But look, she basically put up, say, look, this is something that is long-term, has long-term effects on me psychologically, mentally, that kind of thing. Although, she has moved on and, got married and had the children, you know, it was an allegation that her child or whatever might have been Diddy child, the one that she either just have it or just had, but you know, that's neither here or there. I just said allegedly, but yeah. And you know, was telling the judge, hey, don't let him out, that he needs to be there, you know, for the maximum amount of time. And I think this is what Miss Atkinson, the cook, is saying, and Nash too. But I think what it is they got Diddy where they want to get him, because I believe they put together a second indictment with all those other doggone escorts and things of that nature, with those freak-offs, okay? So if, you know, future reference, if he gets out of line, or I think that if he end up having any type of like verbal contact, I mean, and say the wrong thing, which, you know, you're supposed to really be talking to those witnesses anyway, or somebody try to get at him, they're gonna automatically assume that Diddy did it, particularly if any of those people that testified and or witnesses were harmed. Then they're gonna open up another indictment. I don't believe they're gonna give him a trial or whatever, another retrial. That's already been rejected, that kind of thing, okay? But even if that's such, next thing is gonna be them civil trials here, because they got the trial with Erica Kane, for what I understand. That's that minor that you saw the pictures with her, that D&G shirt, whatever, that blacked out face or whatever, that was sitting on top of Diddy's lap back in the day. She was what, 14 or 15? Then you got Little Rod, October 17th, all right? And then Keefy D, he's going to say his piece in January. But yeah, they're gonna start hitting his pockets and things of that nature. Although I don't believe that if there's any money involved or whatever, okay, that they could tie that money to P. Diddy. But there's gonna be a lot of lawsuits or whatever. I understand like 100 according to Tony Busby. So that's where he's gonna start getting, yeah, you know, he's gonna have to do the time, but he's gonna lose a lot of money. The money that he should have used for generational wealth. You know? So yeah. We're gonna see what the time he's gonna get, October 3rd. A lot of people that are speculating he's gonna get 7 to 10 years. I think he's probably get a little bit less than that. So let me know what you think, okay? I got more content coming, and you guys have a good night, okay? Or good day, or whatever, you know?